This is where I do my intro. Welcome to online. Why? Let's start that over again. Welcome. I don't even know where I am today. Welcome to Badass Banker. No? Welcome to Badass Banking. I'm Brian Claggett, and I am with Tammy Bangs today. Tammy, how are you?
I am fabulous. How are you doing?
We're in the middle of a thunderstorm, and I just don't know how long the power is going to last. We've got a generator that runs, I think, the whole darn house. But I think in the second that it goes off, the power goes off. So if I lose you, I'll dial back in. Or if a bolt of lightning hits us, it'll add a little variety to this episode. So right now, I know you're with Temenos, right?
I am. Yep, I've been there. We got acquired. I was with Coney.
Oh, I loved Coney. I have to tell you, I loved Coney.
I have to say, I loved it too. And we've been, apparently Temenos felt the same, and they acquired us last September. And so we've been on kind of getting everybody on the plan. You know how it is when you've been acquired, and kind of learning all the new ropes. So that's been about the last, I guess, 7 or 8 months. And so now we kind of are all getting all of our PowerPoints to be, Temenos, not Coney colors. I just had that happen this last week. So yeah, it's a process, but it's been a good one so far.
And you're a digital client executive. First of all, that's a really cool title. What does that mean exactly?
We're digital first. We're really selecting clients and partners that want to make digital transformation the kind of the focus and the pinnacle of what they're doing. In fact, if you're not interested in that, then you really wouldn't want to partner with us at this point. That's really where the kind of the focus of the business is right now for us.
Isn't everybody thinking about that now, right? I mean, anyone who knows what they're doing is looking at a digital first value prop, I guess, in many ways, right?
I would hope that they are, but you would be surprised. I've talked to financial institutions in the last 6 months that don't have a person heading it up, that have no plan, that have no real vision for it. So I always tell CEOs when I'm in the room with them, and just, if you're looking to check a box because you just need to have a solution, because you need to have a solution, this is not the right solution for you.
Yeah.
We really need people with a vision.
Yeah, vision's hard to find sometimes. It's one thing to have a vision and another thing to make the execution. And there's all the steps that go on in between. It's that implementation that really makes things kind of interesting. So before this move, you were actually at Jack Henry, and you were at Jack Henry almost 18 years. That's a long time.
It is a long time. I jokingly used to say that I was married to Jack Henry, and and that I'm just dating now.
I've heard that from others. I think Jack Henry had a lot of spouses, a lot of loyalty at Jack Henry.
Yeah, it was a great relationship. We left on good terms. So, like I tell people all the time, I still own a lot of Jack stock. So it's a wonderful company, and, it's evolved over time. I was there when I was, one of the, I don't know, like in the 2000s of employees, right? And now it's 6,000 or 7,000 people.
Yeah, just about 7,000. I mean,
yeah, it's quite different.
Yeah.
So, you just watch the transition from a very small, where everybody kind of knows everybody, and, you're all on one campus, or most of you are on one campus, and then you move to a very large enterprise. And I think they've done a really good job of keeping the culture intact for the most part. And it was just time for something different. I felt like if I didn't do it then, I would never have done it. So
yeah, well, they were good to me. I mean, I'm a fan of Jack Henry. I mean, helped me get to where I am today. And the Gizio acquisition was a great one, and I know they're getting a lot of value out of it. I talk to Sean all the time, and he's having a ball. So talk to me a little about some of the things that are impacting core today. I mean, cores are very easily picked on by banks, right? Very few bankers or credit unioners jump up and down with joy when they talk about their core, but it's a necessary thing, right? I mean, it's something that they have to have. It seems like sometimes they treat the core as if it's the enemy, as opposed to a partner. Are you seeing any change in how people view the core?
I think you are completely on target with that statement. I've dealt with financial institutions in the last month, 2 different ones, that they have basically said that their core is still their system of record, but really their core now is being replaced by Salesforce, right? because they can more easily understand the client relationship and the touch points from a Salesforce environment than they can from their core environment. And I would just say it's really sad that we're in that solution situation, because I think the core providers, all the big ones, you know, the usual suspects, have really had the opportunity to transform, and they have squandered it. You know, we have had that beautiful moment in front of us for more than 10 years where they could have really pivoted and had a solution that was customer centric and focused on relationship, and instead we got more of the same, and that's where we're at today. And of course, open banking is another huge argument in favor of, you know, a newer core solution, right? And they will all tell you, you know, every single one of the big ones, oh, we can do some API, you know, or we have middleware. It's just smoke and mirrors, right? The fact is that it's all extremely old technology.
Yep.
And
yep. That legacy technology, right?
Yeah, it is. I mean, does it run transactions well? Is it a great system of record? It totally is. That's why it's still here, right? But as far as relationship management and putting that, you know, customer in focus for the institution, no, they don't do a good job of that.
Yeah. One of the big challenges I always had in my 30 to 35 years in the banking industry was that vendors were always treated like vendors. Very seldom were they treated as if they were a business partner. And as a result, there was not a lot of trust past the sale. That was like problem number one. And that resulted in a lack of open conversation and dialogue. A lot of times the technology partners that we worked with didn't even ask us the questions of where we wanted to go strategically. They didn't even know the kind of experience that we were trying to build. And our fault was that we didn't openly provide that information to them. So there was no candor, you know, which is really a shame. And I get a sense, and I might be wrong, that still occurs, you know, that the vendor is treated as a vendor as opposed to a partner. I mean, how do we change that? Is that something that can be changed, or is that just the way it's going to be?
I think a lot of that has to do with the culture of the company, right? And also the culture of the sales group in the company, and what is fostered in that sales team. I've worked for both sorts of groups, where it was just like, get in there and, you know, sell a widget, you know, and I hate it and I can't do it, right? I cannot sell a widget. I can't sell a used car. You know, I have to sell something that, first of all, if it was my board of directors, I could take to the board, right? And say, we need this. This will make it better. This will make us sleep better, or somehow give us an improvement that's worth the money that we're spending on this, right? But not everybody feels that way about sales. So when you hire salespeople that are out there to just sell a widget, that's exactly what you're going to do. You're going to turn a bunch of widgets, and you're going to end up with customers who don't care about you, who you're totally disconnected from, right? And I am fundamentally opposed to that type of a situation. I get asked frequently at Temenos, well, what's the secret of a great sales cycle? How did you do X? You know, how do you do that? It's all, for me, it's all about relationship. You know, you have got to know your customer and understand what is troubling them, what's on their mind, what their vision is, what their strategy is, and work and be interested in helping them. Because if you don't do that, then you're just another vendor, right? You're not.
Well, if you don't do that, it shows too, right? I mean, it's what I'm hearing from you is you build relationships to establish rapport, and rapport leads to candor and trust and dialogue, and ultimately problem solving, right? Yes. You know, there's a guy that I met on Twitter, and that sounds weird, but that's the life we live these days. His name is Ted Rubin. He's a marketing consultant, Rubin. And he's got this theory. It's called R on R, which is return on relationship. And he's written some books about it. He speaks about it. I think the banking industry could probably listen to him. But yeah, you can't be out there and sell things, right? It's easy for sales reps to move toward the shiny new things because they're kind of appealing and sexy to sell, and, you know, gives them a reason to engage a prospect or an existing client. It's got to be an ongoing dialogue solving a problem. And personally, you know, that's the kind of stuff I like to do. I like the problem solving, and I know you do too, because I know a little about you. You learn a lot about people from social media, by the way. Speaking about people, tell me about Colorado. I mean, I see all these wonderful photos. You built a house in the last, I think, year and a half or 2 years. You're out in like the plains almost. I mean, I'm waiting
Yeah.
for a buffalo to walk by at any moment. I
You know,
mean,
it could happen. It would surprise me, but we do have quite a few goats down the road. We have a lady who does goat cheese and goat ice cream right here in the kind of neighborhood that I live in. But yeah, we live kind of a little bit out. Several of our neighbors have horses and, like I said, goats and chickens and all that sort of thing. So we live a little out.
wait, you
But
have chickens yourself?
I do not have chickens, but I do benefit from my neighbor's
Oh,
chickens.
I like that. Yeah.
I've been a little afraid of chickens, frankly. Both my parents were from farm families, like a lot of people, I'm sure. But my mother was like, "You can't handle chickens," so she had no faith in my ability to manage a flock. She was like, "They're gonna terrorize you." So yeah, I opted out of chickens based on. I actually have all of the like setup for chickens in my garage that is still in the box and everything. I bought a big setup. And
I like fried chicken. That's about it.
I love fresh eggs. Once you go fresh eggs, you cannot go back to store-bought eggs. They're so much better.
Well, what the hell is a free range egg, by the way? I mean,
Well, when you buy them at a grocery store, I don't think it means a lot, but I think when you get them from your neighbor who's like grazing their chickens on their property, I think that's pretty awesome. And the egg looks different and has a different texture, honestly. So it's pretty
now I
awesome.
see a guitar over your right shoulder back there. Is this something that you're prepared to play for us right now?
It's my daughter's guitar.
Oh, it's your daughter's? Okay, that was a good out. I
Yes.
liked that. Always blame the
Yeah.
daughter. Yes,
Yep.
she
I
plays it
share this
well?
space. Well, she's in lessons. I share this space with her because obviously, you know, right now she had been home from school the last 3 months of school or whatever, 2 months of school. So, but yeah, so we've kind of co-op the office space in here, but that's her little mini Taylor over there. So, but I actually have a degree in music. Did you know that?
I didn't. Actually I did. I saw it on your profile. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's funny how many people in sales have music degrees. Like I think it attracts musicians because there's something about like being comfortable in front of people. I think it just
It's hard to make a living as a musician.
it
Unless you're a
is
rapper.
hard.
You're not a rapper. I'm
You know
assuming.
what, I did get to sing with what's that guy that wears the clock? I got to sing with him at a Temenos or an event that I went to with Temenos.
Where's the clock guy? Yeah, I
No,
missed that one.
You would totally know him if I said his name, and I don't know why I can't remember his name because it's
I'll
like
find out his name and I'll put it in the comments below. How's that?
Right.
So
Yes.
how is it? I mean, you're out there. You're pretty far from town. You're in a position where usually you'd be traveling quite a bit, at least regionally. I think your territory is predominantly the Midwest, right?
Yep, I've covered the Midwest since I've been with Coney/Temenos. Yep,
Yep. So you're doing everything remote right now
I am. I
while
haven't
raising
been.
a daughter.
Yes, I have not been on a plane since the first week of March. It's been really bizarre.
Yeah, me either.
So,
It's scary. I miss it.
I
Yeah.
mean, I do too, and I would never have predicted that I would miss it. I miss the interaction. I don't really miss the airport per se, but I miss, you know, just getting out and like seeing people and coming home, and you know the whole entire experience of that. I miss. I certainly am even more of an extrovert than I thought I was.
Mhm.
You know, I miss people and I miss smiling at people in the grocery store because, you know, if you wear a mask, they can't tell. And it's just different. But my daughter is, you know, it's been great to be home with her. Obviously, you know, it's a big transition for a little tween girl. She's 10 years old. So
it's got to be tough.
it's hard. Yeah. And she's an only child. So it's been a different impact than it would have been on me as a child. You know, I was the youngest of 4. So she's all by herself. So that's a lot for her to have to deal with. But you know, it's been a good summer so far, and we're looking forward to hopefully potentially going back in person to class safely if it works out. You know, I think the district's supposed to make a decision in the next several days. So
yeah, we're on pause. We don't know yet. I mean, I'm here. It's kind of like a blended return. They'll give students the option to or parents the option to be in virtual. I don't know how a teaching profession, how can a teaching professional do both, right? So I'm running a Zoom class plus an in-person class. It's got to be tough.
I don't know if they're going to have like people who just do the online part and people who just do. I really don't, because they gave us that option as well, but we opted to put Olivia back in if if it ends up being possible, because I just feel like she needs interaction with people other than me. you know and plus I do this a lot, so I'm on my conference calls and WebExes, and it's just not the same as having kids around. So
well, as you know, the show's name is Badass Banking. So let me ask you, is there a chance we can actually make banking more badass?
100% yes. I can think of a half a dozen badass bankers off the top of my head.
Give me some names.
I absolutely love Incredible Bank. That's one I would.
Yeah, they're a good one.
Right off the top of my head.
That's a Jack Henry client, aren't they?
It is a Jack Henry client. That's how I got acquainted with them. But they use a lot of extra Jack Henry, external to Jack Henry tools. But they're so forward thinking. They have a podcast and they do all kinds of social events and social media. They just really kind of get out there, on the kind of the edges of some of the things that you think of as a traditional bank. As far as credit unions, I would say, there's a couple in Denver that I absolutely love. Canvas is one of them. Canvas is a credit union that, again, has a podcast, but they also just they interview people and they get into people's life stories. And I love the tone of things there. The lady who's in charge of their marketing is phenomenal. Elevations is another one that I love here in town.
I like Elevations. I followed them for a long time.
Their branding is really good. Yeah. So those are
maybe because it's Colorado. I mean, it wouldn't be as cool if it was in New Jersey.
We have
nothing against New Jersey.
We do. We have a lot to work with here. We have. Did you know that we have a credit union here that is for breweries? Like, it's called On Tap Credit Union. Isn't that
really
cool?
That is
it's a tiny little one. But I just saw it recently and I was like, I need to meet those people because they sound awesome. So,
Yeah, that sounds, there's another one in Colorado that's, their CEO is very involved in the marijuana industry. I can't remember.
Yeah, Sunny
Sunfrid or something. Yeah.
Yep. I follow her posts. She kind of keeps her finger on the pulse of the regulations. Obviously they're doing quite a bit on that. She has really led the charge for banking marijuana shops. So
I just recently invested in a hemp farm in Northern Virginia.
Oh, you did?
I did. Yeah. It's they're doing CBD oil and stuff, and the medicinal value. It's medicine grade, and I'm pretty excited about it.
Well, and banking, the CBD, has its own set of regulations that are not quite as bad as the marijuana regulations, but they are unique. So, yeah, absolutely.
Well, listen, it's been a pleasure talking to you. I mean, I'm glad to see you're doing so well. This is like the first time we've connected online in such a virtual manner. Usually it's just like social media. What I'm going to do is I'm going to post all your credentials, your social media stuff, all in the comments below. Maybe I'll put like some animations in here or something. Obviously, that's Ron Shevlin. Ron Shevlin has sponsored this episode of Badass Banking. I don't know if he knows it yet. That's a very good photo of Ron, though. I did that because I had I sat on a conversation with Derrick Sutton from Auto Books and Ron today that was really good. Made me think of a couple of new ideas. I'm gonna have to give Ron and Derrick some credit for it. So anyway, Tammy, it's been great. I hope you remain safe. For everyone out there that is, I hope, watching, subscribe, dislike, comment. This is all about engagement, right, Tammy?
That's absolutely right.
Engagement. That's why you're good at what you do, because you establish relationships and you build them. It's all about rapport. Anyway, thank you very much. And I guess I'll be talking to you soon, Tammy.
Sounds good. Thanks, Brian.